It's February 26th, and these are the activities for financial literacy. So we're taking a look at the slideshow that's posted in Classroom for the day. On the first slide, you'll see the agenda. So these are the activities that you can expect. You'll notice that we're continuing the banking services or the bank services unit. There is a quiz today over the vocabulary. Again, that quiz has been announced the last several days in class. And then we're going to continue individual research of your selected financial institution. So I'm going to go over just a few things with that research. And then please keep in mind all individual research will be submitted upon completion. And you want to use the attachment on February 22nd as your guide for short. And I've talked about that in previous videos. Make sure that all research information comes directly from your bank's website. And if you should finish your research today on the 26th, you are to begin your slideshow. And make sure that you see slide 11 as an example. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the stream. And I'm going to go back just a few days to the bank research attachment. You're going to find that posted on February 21st for the day of February 22nd. Now, in previous videos, I've talked about the top part of the sheet and what information I'm looking for. I'm going to continue right here for Are Your Funds Insured? So what I'm talking about is FDIC insured. You're going to find this information typically at the bottom of the homepage on your bank website. Again, I said typically, so it can be found in other places on your banking website. Sometimes it's found at the top on your homepage, and other times it's found, it seems like, on just some random page. Next thing you want to take a look at are the types of accounts. So here I want you to provide the many different types of accounts that your bank provides. So I'm talking about all the different types of checking accounts, different types of savings accounts. They may have investment accounts, so on and so forth. So please make sure that you're very thorough in terms of providing the types of accounts provided. Specifically, you do want to be especially careful with the checking accounts since those are really what we're comparing for the project. Don't forget to include the other information though as well. All right, so we're going to take a look at fees. Must maintain a minimum daily balance of. So what's the minimum daily balance for the checking account that your table is researching? Again, you may not research a student account. And each person needs to be researching a similar account so that the team can compare. Next thing, must maintain an average daily balance. So what's the minimum daily balance? What's the average daily balance? And then what's the monthly maintenance charge for the specific checking account that you're taking a look at? For interest, how much interest do you earn on your account or on this particular checking account that you're researching? And how is the interest calculated? Again, as we move along this form, you'll find that the information here in the middle is going to be a little bit more difficult for you to research and for you to find than the information located at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and move on. We're going to take a look at charges. I'm going to talk about checks. So what's the charge for printing checks? There is a charge. What's the charge if you bounce a check? So in other words, if you write a check and you don't have enough money in your account to cover it. What's the charge to stop a check? Again, and these are all based on the type of checking account that you've selected that you're researching. How about to certify a check? What is that charge? Next thing I want you to take a look at, if you make a withdrawal from the teller window, what is the charge for that? If you make a withdrawal from a bank-owned ATM, what is the charge? What is the charge for withdrawal at a regional network ATM? Again, for the checking account that you're researching. And then what is the charge to withdraw money in a national network ATM? So regional and networks, these aren't necessarily, so for example, if you're researching Fifth Third Bank, these aren't necessarily Fifth Third Bank ATMs. They're in the Fifth Third network. However, they can be owned by different banks. Finally, make sure you take a look at balance inquiries. So if I inquire about my balance at the teller window, what's the charge for that based on the checking account I'm researching? What's the charge at the ATM? What's the charge by phone? And then make sure that you take a look at special services. Okay. If I transfer, okay, so fund transfer by phone, how much is that? I also want to take a look at, is there a fee for pre-authorized bill payment? What about a signature guarantee? And what about bill payment by phone? Once you finish this information, the next thing that you're going to be doing is you're going to go ahead and you're going to start your slideshow. Make sure your first slide contains the names of each individual at the table and their selected bank. And your next slide really is going to be based on the form that we just took a look at. So make sure that you're breaking the information down on your slides. You're going to see an example on slide 7 in the slideshow for the day, and we've taken a look at this in class. So this is the section that kind of talks about branch information. Sometimes it's going to be suitable to compare two different things on the same slide. Other times it will not. So again, which bank has more branches? And you'll see each of the banks researched by a particular table are provided. They've highlighted what they believe is the bank with the most branches. Now, what you're really not seeing here is, beside the name, they type the number of branches for each of the banks. Now, the next section this group took a look at, which bank has the closest branch? Again, you're going to see that same information. And if you take a look at PNC Bank, for example, the address was provided. Something that I'd really like to see along with the address is the number of miles from North Oldham Middle School. So if you have questions about any of these activities, please make sure that you see me. I'm available every morning beginning at 8:25 and after school by appointment.